Hi, I'm Tony, this is Slack, welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we are chatting crap about This Is That Was May. Did I fucking get it right?
Okay guys, welcome back in the room. Yeah, like we said, That Was May, and we're going to have a quick review of the shit that went down in the vaping world in May. Today is the 8th of June, it's voting day, and hopefully everyone's been out and made their voice heard and all that in the UK. That's a good thing to do. It'd be interesting to see how that turns out. By the time you're seeing this, we would already know, but right now we don't.
Mystery and suspense. But Slack, why are we talking about politics and voting and shit?
Why, Tony? Good question. Well, I guess we're going to dive straight into the news, talking about the TPD then, because that is like the big story globally, and the UK sort of have been, one of the forefront voices about vaping. A lot of the world, even America, it was fairly big news there. Because, they're like, why is Britain clamping down on vaping when Britain keeps banging on about it being 95% safer? We asked the same question, but, it's here, it's landed. The grandfather clock has ticked its last tock.
So we, like you guys out there probably, were fairly concerned about the impact that the TPD would have on the general public. Not so much the inconvenience on us with the smaller tanks and the lower nick strengths, more for what it would have on the industry as a whole.
Yeah, the UK's been going from strength to strength with vaping. We're really growing as not only a vaping nation, but a vaping manufacturer. Our e-juices have been going from strength to strength. Going back a few years, British e-juice was sort of fairly meh, and then you get the American stuff, you're like, oh my god. And now so many British e-juices are up to that standard that, it's just been a great place to be. And that was in the build-up to this TPD. And so we were obviously concerned that was, the TPD was going to put pay to that and completely crush all the sort of progress, development, improvements that we've seen in the UK. But has it?
No! If anything, we've come out the other side even stronger.
Yeah, so many companies took the opportunity, because this isn't like new news. The TPD didn't just suddenly appear. We had a year's notice with that grandfather clock ticking away. And so companies have sort of taken the time to sort of like work on their juices, get them TPD compliant, but they've also, a lot of them have sort of done some workings with their juices. I mean, take Attitude, for example. They've redone their whole range. They're still basically the same, but they've upped the VG in it. They've done a bit of flavour work on it at the same time as getting them TPD compliant, and they have come out stronger. They have gone from good to great. I mean, it's just incredible, and that's just one example, and we've seen that all across vaping, especially at the Expo, which was very soon after the TPD landed.
Yeah, on that weekend that the TPD actually hit, at the stroke of midnight, quite a few websites that we know, or that I was definitely scouring that evening because fucking shit had to be bought. They at the stroke of midnight, they just took their sites down. They took that opportunity to say, no, we're cutting a line in the sand. That's wrong, but we're cutting a line in the sand right there, and from there took their website down, completely redid the whole website, took all the non-TPD compliant stuff off of the website, and made the websites better, if anything.
Yeah, a lot of them had complete website overhauls, so that they work better, they look better, they're slicker. It was like, again, a good opportunity, because when else do you get that opportunity? So yeah, again, this is another example of the TPD hits. We were worried, what impact it was going to have on us as vapers, and the doom and gloom isn't there as much. Yeah, the TPD shit, it's got some stupid rules in it, but we're managing. We're sort of still going, and if anything, things are still getting better.
Obviously, like a lot of other people, we were worried that everything was going to be that 10ml bottles.
Yeah, one of the most stupid rules in the TPD, if not the most stupid rule. 10ml bottle, smaller bottle. It's, again, look at cars. You've got emissions. Say, emissions are really bad. Let's give everyone smaller petrol tanks. The bottle size and the tank size is freaking ridiculous. What's the point? But yeah, we were worried, just everything was going to be 10ml bottles and that's it. But obviously zero nick, everyone's still putting out in larger bottles, and people have gone, oh, okay, 50ml bottle with 10ml space and a 10ml nick shot. So yeah, big bottle deals are still out there, which is good, because particularly if you buy juice in the sort of quantities we do, 10ml bottles are just ridiculous, It would be like, a shot to last you all night. Stupid rule. However, one thing that has sort of happened, or seems to at the moment, which we noticed at the expo, was like some of the great deals you got on the bigger bottles. So like the One Hit Wonder, it was one of the sort of solids that's been about for ages, 180ml. I mean, we bought that routinely at like 30 quid at shows, something like that, for 180ml, which is a great price. And we managed to pick up 3 10ml bottles for a tenner from the One Hit Wonder stand this time. Which is the equivalent of paying £60. So the price there has doubled, even if you're bulk buying. It's not good, and that was what I was really worried was going to happen all across vaping. But because we've still got some people doing the cheeky nick shot and stuff, and we'll still see those good deals. But then I was thinking about it, the whole sort of 10ml bottles. If everything was levelled into 10ml bottles, and you're only buying 10ml at a time, people like me would just buy like a couple of big bottles of One Hit Wonder or something like that. Instead of having those big bottles and just working through them for a week or two, I'd have smaller bottles. And if they're all roughly the same price, I might be more inclined to pick up something that I haven't tried before, because you're paying the same sort of price and it's not a huge bottle. So I thought maybe this would actually help sort of, diversify people's juice choices. But I guess that's going to sort of, we'll see how that goes over the course of the next year or so.
Ultimately, though, the rules of the TPD are petty, pointless, and unfounded. With that being said, at this time, we don't think that it will stifle vaping.
Yeah, there were so many sensationalist news stories about how this is going to destroy vaping. It's just standard media, take a thing and make it seem worse than it is to get attention. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And I was worried about that. I was genuinely worried about it. But from everything we saw at the expo and everything we're seeing online, yeah, TPD's got stupid rules, but we're still going and we're still coming out stronger. So I'm hoping that it isn't going to be the case. If things stay as they are, I think we'll be alright.
Moving forward, the vape industry, moving forward, as long as it continues as it is, dodging the, theoretical bullets that keep getting thrown at us with the TPD and the likes of the current government, which, after today, who the fuck knows? As long as we keep moving forward with it, and we keep getting more people on board, more people seeing the value of this harm reduction technology, and not a fucking tobacco product, fucking wankers, pisses me off so much. Harm reduction, that's what it's about. It's about still managing to manage something that we need, inverted commas, is what we want. But removing the bad shit from it. So as long as we keep going down that path and keep getting people on board, it will be a viable option to giving up smoking.
Yes, we've got to continue to spread the word that vaping's still, as good as it was, regardless of, these new laws sort of coming in. And you say, oh yeah, sensationalist, it's time for vaping, crack down on vaping. It's crap. Vaping's still going, vaping's still good. It is still a viable option for getting off the smokes. Right, with that said about the TPD, and we mentioned sort of stifling of vaping, so let's take a look at one of those very articles about stifling of vaping. It's posted in The Guardian, and it was on the day the TPD landed, the 20th of May, the day it kicks in. I'm just going to read something from the screen here, because it's ridiculous. This is the day it happened. Quote, customers put off by rules on nicotine strength could return to cigarettes. This is the day it happened. And, again, sensationalist. But then they sort of go on and talk about a load of other things like bottle sizes and that. And you're like, well, really? That's going to put people off? It's just crazy. Yeah, continuing to talk about, the strength of things. They have a whole sort of bit about saying that, you know, they're really worried about black market and homemade e-liquids. You know, people are going to turn to, oh my God, not homemade e-liquids. And I thought, on the surface of it, I thought, oh yeah, okay. Hang on, what am I thinking? I make homemade e-liquids, they're perfectly safe. Also, they're talking about nicotine strength being banned. They're talking about homemade e-liquids, but you can only buy 20 mgs nicotine. The same as if you... it doesn't make any sense. The whole article is just nonsense. They've just like picked some facts. How can we make this sound really bad and scary? Or mention black market, that's a good one. Where is this black market? I'd buy shit from the black market. Where is the black market for e-cigarettes? Like, yeah.
Leave a comment down below.
Let us know. We'll go review the black market. We can get them like, you know, pixelated things to like not show people's faces. You know, we'll go be doing some back alley transactions. 24 mg nicotine, mate. Yeah, brilliant. You know.
This is the good shit. It's cut with apple and bubble gum.
Right, we're going to have a talk about nicotine strength now. I'm going to ask you a question and you don't have to answer it straight away. Just remember which way you're facing when I finish asking the question so you can ponder it. Yeah? So, while we're talking about nicotine strength, you know, this is a sort of a fairly contentious subject, you know. Nicotine strength, 20 milligrams, that's the limit. Now, for me, I actually think 20 milligrams for an e-juice is more than enough. And not just for me personally, in general, having tried the stronger stuff. But what's your thoughts on that?
Interesting question. Well, some of us might be the opinion that, you know, this is good and that is bad. Not everyone is the same. Everyone vapes at different levels. You know, if you smoked before, you know, 3 packs a day, that means your nicotine level is X amount. So you would want to be on the higher stuff to be getting the same hit. Yeah,
no, I agree. You would want to be on the higher stuff, but I think a lot of people were only going for the 24 or 20, yeah, whatever the highest they could get was, because they're like, oh, I smoked a lot of cigarettes, and so I need the highest one. If when vaping sort of came out, if the highest was only 18 ever, I don't think people would know a difference, if you know what I mean. It's kind of relative. If you sold something in like weak, medium and strong, and you go, oh, I have the strong one, you don't necessarily know what it is. There's only so much you can, like, you know, inhale at a time. Like, if you're smoking a cigarette, even if you smoke 60 a day, that just meant you're smoking cigarettes all day. You'd be vaping all day. At 24 mgs, that is a lot of nicotine. At 20 mgs, still a lot of nicotine. But, you know, the point is, if you're on cigarettes, you only smoke one at a time. If you're smoking 2, then maybe you'd need, you know, those higher nicotine levels to get it in. Interestingly enough, like a lot of the media have been reporting how many people this is going to be directly affecting, ruining their vaping experience. They need the higher nicotine. It's oh my God. And it varies from like 3 to 15% of vapers. So obviously this is one of those sort of 96% of statistics that's made up on the spot. So where are they getting these figures from? How do they know?
They don't.
I mean, how can they know? How do they know if one person bought 100 bottles or 100 people bought 1 bottle? They just don't know.
Like you said, it was going to be a contentious subject, but we're offering it up to you. It's a conversation as well, more than anything. So let us know. Drop us a comment down below. Do you vape more than 20? Is this going to affect you? Did you buy nicotine for home brewing before the TPD hit? So you've got the higher level of nicotine? Drop us a comment, we're interested.
Yeah, talking of home brewing, this is where it really does fuck everything up. Because it's, you know, while I'm fine with the fact that it is 20 mgs nicotine in e-juice. You know, that's okay for me. I'm happy with that. However, the fact that I make my own juice at home and I can't buy, you know, the nicotine concentrate in 72 mgs anymore is a pain in the balls. It screwed that right up. And yeah, it's kind of like, I feel like it should have been handled separately, because you're not talking about e-juice. Either e-juice should have been banned. I don't get it. I find it shit. Which is why we bought a couple of litres.
And now I'm kind of worried that we don't have enough.
Don't worry, Black Market's got our back.
Yay! But rounding off this article, it also goes on to talk about tank sizes too. And yes, we agree, it's very annoying. And we saw a huge uptake in people panic buying larger tanks.
There was like a mania. I mean, fuck fidget spinners, large tanks, you know, and people were like, what, there's a 40mm tank? I'm going to fucking get me some of that, you know. It was just crazy. If you're trying to get hold of a Mason in the run up to the TPD crackdown, hi Neil. Yeah, I mean, you were shit out of luck, because everyone's like, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to see this again. Quick, buy everything. You can combine that with the crazy deals, because shops had to sell them off, and it just went insane, you know.
Really did.
And some of the offers we were seeing, you know, they're offering like a tiny bit off. And I've seen it half price of this, but people are still quick. I'll buy 10. I'll buy all of them. Just crazy. Okay, that about does it for our first sort of chat, which was, you know, hugely around the TPD, and we will probably end up cycling back to that. There were so many news articles out there. I gave up looking at them, you know. I was sort of watching them for a bit. They were in the build up to the TPD. They were on TPD day heavily. They were afterwards. They're still coming out. I saw one today from the Birmingham Post. They're just saying, oh, the new vaping laws and what they mean. Like, they're not new anymore. Catch up. You're news reporting, buddy. Yeah, anyway. So we have put the TPD to bed, and if you've got any sort of funny stories, any interesting stories, any sort of swervy stories that you found, do let us know. We'll check them out.
So our next article, Turning Japanese.
Turning Japanese.
No?
I really think so. No, just me. Okay, well, yeah, okay.
So, British American Tobacco in the news, expanding their sales of its GLO, tobacco heating device to Tokyo.
Yeah, they're going to kick it off in Tokyo and sort of make a big push there, try and challenge Philip Morris on their IQOS device. Yeah, really big in Japan apparently. The heat don't smoke devices, whatever. I don't know what they're called. I kind of don't care, but they are making sort of a lot of news, a lot of headway, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But again, this is mainly in Japan. We saw the IQOS at the expo, and we saw it as we walked past, didn't go in, and no one did. They were the most bored stand that were there. It's a fairly shit looking stand as well. It wasn't exactly bringing their A game.
I don't even remember it, so...
Yeah, it was just like a plain empty gazebo looking thing. It was but yeah, it was empty, you know. You've got these sort of e-juice manufacturers who are there, and they're sort of doing all their sort of stage shows, and, you know, awesome entertainment, as you hopefully saw on the expo video. And yeah, then there's just these guys stood there twiddling their thumbs, and oh well. But yeah, it's happening. They're making a push, and the big tobacco companies are fighting each other, and Japan is the battleground.
So, next up for you guys, Oz, the Minuteman strikes again.
Yeah, so the Australian government last week before now, I don't know, in May, they said that, yeah, we stand by this ban, we're enforcing this ban, it's a mandatory ban, and it's very anti-e-cigarettes. And then 1 minute later decide that actually we're also going to launch an inquiry into the ban, which was done by their own people. It doesn't make any sense. We're doing this, but we're going to check this out. What? Why? Anyway, I mean, there's not really anything to report yet, but it's just an inquiry that's going to be going on, looking into the ban in vaping in Australia. That's of interest to a lot of people who watch this. So, who knows? Maybe this stupid ban will change. So, you know, we'll keep you posted.
Oz, the country of crazy shit's going to happen, it's going to happen right fucking there. One little bit that I would like to add to this article is that they might be doing this sort of standing firm on the subject, but also coming around and saying we're going to have a look at it again in light of New Zealand recently saying that they're actually pro-vaping and backing it. So Australia may be thinking, hold on a minute, we might need to rejig this one.
Yeah, it'd be good if more countries around the world sort of let common sense prevail and let real science, and the tests and all the studies that have been done that have a good scientific grounding, and maybe just listen to them a bit instead of just saying, I read on the internet that vaping was bad, so we're going to ban that.
Next up, an article from Yahoo that we've actually titled, or I've just come up with, Fuck Off Yahoo. So the article leads with, it turns out vaping may be bad. It turns out vaping may be bad for more than just your look.
Yeah, with the heading to the article saying that hackers give you yet another reason to hate vaping, which is, just fuck off Yahoo. Why are you still going? First off, the only people who are going to be concerned about this, well, actually, the crux of the article is that they're saying that you can modify the code. A hacker has modified code inside a vape device to interfere with your computer, just proving it's possible. Anything's possible. You plug something into USB, of course it's possible. There's memory in the device. But it's not really about the article itself, it's about the attitude. The only people who are going to be interested in this article, really, people who vape themselves. So telling them that they look stupid vaping and that they already hate vaping is fucking pointless. So why? It just doesn't make any sense. Who are you marketing this fucking article to? The people who are going to be interested are people who vape, but you've just basically called them a bunch of so Yahoo, come on, really?
So if you do read this article, don't feel your fucking blood pressure going up like I have. But I mean, everything about this article just screams stupidness. Yahoo, what the fuck are you playing at? I mean, the hacker who goes by the handle 4octets, not tits. He's not even a hacker. He's just a guy who's like, oh, fucking bored. So I'll see what it can do and what it's able to do. It's not even like it would be a mass-produced problem, like some shady organisation fucking, did something to steal all your bank fucking details. It's just some guy who's got bored and started fucking about. I mean, how many companies have started like that?
Yeah, so one of the things that 4octet said is, I'm really sorry if I get vape devices banned in your workplace, but hang on a second, whoa, back up. If your workplace has a policy on USB devices, they'll be blocked. So it will still charge because it doesn't block the power to it. It just doesn't let it do any sort of Windows interaction, any file interaction.
There's no data capability.
Yeah, and we're talking about what someone has done. So they've taken a device and modified it. So unless you're suggesting that someone's going to break into a vape shop and reprogram all the vapes in the night to steal your passwords, I don't think this is even a problem worth worrying about. Not to mention the fact that even if USB is open, who doesn't run antivirus? If there's malicious code on there, it will get picked up. It is just so dumb. Not what the guy did. What the guy did is just fucking about with stuff, and I fully support that. It's just the way this article's been handled, and again blown out of all proportion. Really,
we've spent enough time on this. So rounding the article off, Yahoo, how the fuck are you still relevant?
Yeah, and hackers, if you're going to hack vape devices, we want Flappy Bird. Come on, give us Flappy Bird.
So the next instalment coming from the Mirror, titled iPhone of Vapes.
Yep, so the Firefly 2 is here and it's being heralded as the iPhone of Vapes. Now, I imagine that it's being heralded that by the people who make it, trying to sell it, because it has a fairly hefty price tag and it is shit. Did I say that out loud? Sorry, my bad. Sorry, all Apple phone users. Sheep. No, while I seriously don't have anything against Apple phones, I wouldn't want one myself. And this is I wouldn't. It's a long story. It's the software. If you use it with a PC, iPhone software kills PCs. I didn't want to get into that here. It sounds like we have.
Here we are.
Here we are. But yeah, the iPhone of vapes, the Firefly 2, it is like a small heat not burn sort of device for your favourite plant extracts things. Yeah, it's okay. £310 though.
Can we say that?
What?
The price?
Yeah.
How?
Because it's a ridiculous price. We're reporting it as news. They say it's a price. Their news, we're doing news. £310, stupid price.
Leaving that in.
Yeah.
It is a stupid price. 310. Who the fuck comes up? 299, surely.
Yeah. Well, maybe they do 310, so that way we'll do it for 299. Just so. Yeah,
oh, we're doing you a deal.
Yeah, deal. It's a steal. It's sale of the fucking century.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. I mean, for that money, you could get yourself a seriously decent vape setup, and a load of e-juice to go with it. Yeah. So, but if they do manage to market it as the iPhone of vapes and get that sex appeal, get that, I must have it because it's the new one, it's the new really cool one, it's got curved edges, maybe they have got a market. You can see why someone has gone for that. SX Mini, real expensive and gets a real cult following. It's really good, but it's also expensive, and maybe they're just trying to come in there. Be interesting to see how much money goes into that technology. Is it fairly basic? Is it just sort of rehashed old stuff? 20 quid to make in a Chinese factory and a mega markup and a lot of price fixing going on.
That sounds right, yes.
Yeah.
That sounds much more plausible. A few little tidbits of information. Apparently it's fitted with USB Type-C.
Which is good.
For some reason.
Yeah.
What's that, faster charging?
It's a flippy round cable.
Okay, so you spend less time plugging it in to charge it. But the picture that they're using on the website, it's blue. That's not Apple. Apple should be white. So it's already fucking up as far as I'm concerned. Also, where's the peripheral connector? I mean, you've got to have one of those stupid octopus dongle things hanging out of it so you can connect up the shitload of other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, USB-C, that's a common format. Surely they should have done proprietary cable, so you have to only buy their own special cables, which they sell for £30 a pop. Missing a trick.
And they also need to produce some sort of bumper case for it as well, which fucks up your antenna, but in this case, it'll prevent you from fucking using it.
Yeah, so the guy who designed this did once work with Steve Jobs, maybe went to the Apple factory, ate some apples, and, this is probably why they're going for the Apple sort of line, if you were. We'll see how it goes, but it's another heat not burn. Probably won't be interested in getting one myself. What about you guys? Heat not burn? Interested in it? Probably not, I wouldn't have thought. And if you're watching vaping stuff and we're all about this, probably not, but let us know. Next up on the vaping news hit list, stop the press, fire alert caused by vaping.
So, on the 13th of May, a firefighter climbed to a second floor window.
You're not making it sound
in
dramatic.
New York City Centre.
No, just York.
Oh shit! This is shit. I thought it was New York. For fuck's sakes. Bored. Move on.
Yeah, I mean, a news article, admittedly in York press, so we're talking small time here, but they've got the picture of the firefighter climbing up the ladder to look in the window, and there's probably some guy cock in hand. Shall I stop now?
Morning.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. He was vaping, he had a sensitive smoke alarm, it went off, they turned up. End of story. Doesn't need a news article. We don't need to report it, but we have, so stop the press.
This is a weird news article. Slack wrote at the end of this, test smoke alarm with vape. He just walked out, tested smoke alarm, blew vape at smoke alarm, shouted to me, nothing. Second later, beep, 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 beep. So, alright, I mean, and you cleared it straight away. So, okay, so the fire alarm's gone off. How long was this fucking fire alarm going off for the firefighters to actually turn up?
Maybe if it's on a system where once it goes off, they have to come out, like in workplace, if the fire alarm's triggered, it gets automatically sent and they have to come and clear the alert.
But then if you know that, then you phone them up and say false alarm.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, we've got an action shot of the guy climbing, to save the day. So yeah, there's that.
Stupid news article. Next up for you guys, a happy news article, thank God.
Yeah, so the article's in the Visitor, and it's about how e-cigs saved a Morecambe woman's foot, of all things.
So the article reads that if Carol didn't stop smoking, she'd lose her foot.
Yeah, she'd already lost a couple of toes, and this is to do with a blood circulation issue, which was being aggravated by smoking. Now, this was about 7 months ago, and so her and her partner, who was also having health issues with his heart, they both switched to e-cigarettes. There and then, like the next day, boom, I haven't smoked since. And both of them are reporting just like massive health improvements. She was saying that she used to get a lot of like chest infections. They've gone, and she just feels a lot better in herself. You know, still struggling with the foot, but the foot itself hasn't got any worse. So you know, the deterioration has stopped. Obviously, once you got to the point where there's problems there and you're missing toes, you know, that's not going to magically grow back. But at the same time, the deterioration has stopped. So you know, all these science reports we were seeing about how e-cigs are still terrible for you, it's still really bad. Again, it comes back to the thing, nowhere near as bad as smoking. You know, Public Health England's 95% better than smoking. And this is that in action. You know, you can see it here. You know, in 7 months, they're reporting huge, you know, improvements to their health because they're off cigarettes. And that's great.
Yeah, Carol was a 22-year smoking veteran. She was smoking 50 a day, along with the problematic foot. She also said that she had problems with asthma as well. And then since taking up vaping, knocking cigarettes on the head, it's just been improvement after improvement.
Yeah, I mean, having that health problem, you know, is great motivation to help give up smoking. But again, I think the vaping really does make it easier because it's so similar to smoking. You go through all the same motions. You're still doing that, you know, with your hands, and it's just so similar that it's just such a logical transition for me. It's the only thing that, you know, really helped me give up smoking, because I'd had like so many attempts to give up cigarettes, and I kept going back to them, have a beer, and I'd be back on them. Even when I started vaping and I was using like just the sort of small pen devices, or in fact the Cigalikes especially, that wasn't really enough for me. It wasn't enough like smoking was. It was only when I got onto the higher power devices that it really got that sort of the same experience and the same enjoyment I did from cigarettes. And now the thought of going back to cigarettes is just grim for me, you know. So I think this is just a really good example of what we've been saying all along, that vaping is just a great way to get off cigarettes.
And on to the last article from Cancer Research UK. More than half UK vapers have ditched smoking.
Yeah, I mean, this is big news because previously it was more than half were still doing the dual. You know, they want to give up smoking. They know, you know, there's so much buzz. E-cigarettes are good. Oh, maybe that's the way to go. And so they get an e-cig, but they still like smoking. So they do a bit of both. Personally, for me, during that sort of transitional phase, I found it didn't work very well because the e-cigs would make me cough because my lungs were used to smoke, not vapour. And for me, that hard transition across to vaping was really where it sort of got good, if you were. So I'm surprised that it is still that many, but it's great that it's going in the right direction.
So the YouGov survey referenced in this article mentions around 2.9 million adults use e-cigarettes, with 1.3 million of these also smoking.
Yeah, so what's good is this is the Cancer Research website, and it's being heralded by someone from King's College that this is encouraging news. So we're like, oh, this is good, this looks pro-vaping still. And it goes on to actually something I'm going to read quickly, which again is just good for vaping. It says the evidence so far shows that e-cigarettes are far safer than tobacco. So it's great news that more and more vapers are going on to give up smoking altogether, which is the best thing a smoker can do for their health. So again, having this on the Cancer Research site, you know, it is just really promising pro-vaping, and we like it.
The other really good part of the article says that Cancer Research is continuing to invest in research to find out more about their potential to help smokers ditch tobacco for good.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be great, get more people off it, because there's still a huge amount of smokers. So you're looking at 9 million people in the UK who smoke, and this is according to their research, and only 1.5 million people who are just sort of pure vapers, giving up cigarettes completely, because you've got the 1.3 million who do both. So there is still a long way to go. We're hoping, if we can get through this TPD and keep things going strong, and people still look at vaping as a viable and healthier alternative to smoking, we hope to see that number coming down. Because we think we've got it hard in vaping. We've got all these TPD rules coming. They've hit smoking really hard. Taxes are really hitting smoking hard. So smoking, take health aside, smoking is getting less and less of an attractive option as time goes on anyway. And so if people still have that habit, have that need, have that want, to do something like that, hopefully vaping is going to look more and more, interesting, attractive for them.
Okay guys, we're moving across now to our Ask Smog Vlog section, where you guys ask us questions. But quickly, before we get into all that, just a quick shout out to all our new subscribers. So hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining the party, as it were. The other thing that we need to say here is that YouTube does some funky shit sometimes and actually unsubscribes people. So if you do find yourself unsubscribed, just click the bell button down here somewhere. Slacks all for the bell button.
So yeah, we've been talking about doing a giveaway for a while. We've been so busy, like Expo and loads of other real life stuff getting in the way. But yeah, giveaway is coming soon, as we're fast approaching the 300,000 views. Thanks very much. We figured we'd tie it in with that, so it's coming up real soon. Let us know what you're interested in, what sort of things. They can be specific or generic, so I'd like a model or like a whole setup. Just let us know what sort of things you're interested in that we'll put up for the comp.
So back over to the Smog Vlog, our Smog Vlog section. Back over to the Smog Vlog section. What the fuck am I talking about? Cigalikes, dead or not? I was in a vape shop earlier today. Yeah, it was today. I was having a conversation with someone about Cigalikes. Sort of, they're a shop. They sell sort of everything. From the beginner little single 18650, even smaller than that, just like the 650 milliamp hour batteries with the tiny tanks. Right the way up to sort of like Relo 3-4 battery mods, and the conversation was going along the lines of Cigalikes. Why are they still about? Why are they still a thing? Personally, I was of the view that they're an easy sort of commodity to pick up here and there. You look at the likes of supermarkets, almost going to name drop there, and thought better of it. So supermarkets, it's easier just to walk in there, and instead of actually buying your usual packet of 20 whatever, you see the Cigalikes on the side, because you're still actually legally allowed to display those, and in petrol stations as well. They're always there, and they're relatively cheap. I don't think the costing stacks up over time, because with these things, you buy them, you use them for however long, you lose them, they break, they run out, and you can't be bothered to refill them, and it's just easier to buy a new one. And so then that's another added cost on top of it. So where the fuck was I going with this?
Don't know.
So yeah, that kind of answered the question for the guy in the shop that was saying, I don't understand why Cigalikes are still a thing.
Yeah, I know quite a few people who still use Cigalikes, and I'm think that's pretty cool, because if that works for you and that's good enough to get you off the cigarettes, then it is a very easy format. It is fairly inexpensive. Obviously, long-term cost maybe not, but per device, per thing, simple, easy, and if it works, great.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing that I brought up with who I was having the conversation with, is the fact that it's not about having the biggest, bestest thing on the market, blowing the biggest clouds. It's up to the individual how they feel it works for them to keep them away from smoking cigarettes. So whether that's a Cigalike or not, it's purely up to the individual.
Yeah, for me personally, I didn't get on with cigarettes. I was on them in maybe 2008, something like that. Really early on in vaping, and it used to you freak people out. You see, they think you're smoking a cigarette, and you put it in your pocket, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Oh wait, electronic. Hey guys, see this? Look, there's an electronic cigarette. It is. But for me, like compared to an actual cigarette, it was kind of like going to a brothel for a hug. Kind of going through the motions, but it's pointless.
I think the important thing here that Slack maybe doesn't realise is that it installed the thought in his head that there was a different direction to take, and while this device wasn't cutting it for him, it definitely led down the path.
Yeah, exactly. I was really up for an alternative to smoking that was very much like smoking, which is why as soon as I got a higher power device, something that gave the similar experience, but it wasn't even that high powerful. I think it was when I got onto maybe the Vision spinners, with Kanga Pro tanks on it, a Kanga Pro Tank 3 Mini, and sticks and menthol in there. The hit I was getting was like, oh, this is pretty good. Certainly once the devices got past that, I didn't look back at smoking. But if cigarettes had worked for me, I would have stopped smoking in 2008 completely, and that would have been great. But whatever works for you. Yeah, so some of the people I know who sort of started on cigarettes, they have transitioned to sort of standard vaping devices, what we call them. And one of the devices I tend to recommend, because they're like, I'm not interested in the clouds, but it's the refilling, it's the throwing away of the cartridges, it's the battery life, And so things I like to recommend are sort of more like the E-Leaf Pico. I think that's a great little kit. You can get the mouth to lung coils, and they sort of keep that sort of more like smoking feeling, but you've got all the convenience of like a regular vape device with a fillable tank, albeit 2mm now, it needs to be, but you've got an 18650 battery in there. You can carry spare batteries safely, so you get all the benefits without that throwaway cost of the cartomizers and the battery that only lasts quarter of a day.
So, next topic, giving up smoking. I was at a barbecue this weekend around my brother's, and family friend of my brother's partner, Enza. The conversation was being battered about giving up smoking. She's a smoker. She's been a smoker for quite some time. No judgment, Enza, if you're watching, no judgment. The conversation was revolving around sort of like, when you're going to give up smoking, and it shouldn't be about that. When the individual is ready to give up smoking, that's what it's about. However, that can seem like a bit of an insurmountable task when you are a smoker, and it's sort of playing on your mind. You're thinking, well, I'd like to give up smoking, but I don't know where to begin. I mean, what the fuck is resistance, ohms, wattage? It's all a bit fucking of a mystery. And to that end, I gave her the Kick Cloud 50 watt that we reviewed. Check our reviews down below, somewhere around here. You'll see the review. Enza, if you're watching, check our review. You'll find out how to use it. I gave her that, and I gave my brother an empty 10ml bottle. Just find out what flavour she's interested in. Give her 10ml of that. That'll get her started until she sort of like develops taste, and there you go. While she doesn't actually have to use it straight away, it's a start point, instead of that big fucking grey question of, I don't know where the fuck to start with vaping. It can be sitting there ready and waiting, and as soon as she's ready, with her being in the right mind space to say, right, I'm going to fucking give it a go now, it's there ready and waiting for her to get started.
Yeah, so next up we had an interesting question from Rosie in the chat about her e-juice. She bought some juice and she was finding it really, really harsh, sort of throat hit, and it just wasn't right, but she didn't get it because she tried a friend's juice which was from the same make, and it wasn't giving that harsh throat hit. And what transpired was that just the bottle needed a shake. I mean, it's something I do so instinctively. Like I've got particularly as you get into the bigger bottles, you need to really make sure you give it a shake. If it's a 10ml, it's not going to go too wrong. But you start getting into bigger bottles, especially, they really need that good shake. The important thing when you're shaking your bottle, because some people feel a little bit weird about shaking, make eye contact. Don't break eye contact. Just keep shaking it until it's done, and then your e-juice is all nicely mixed up and it's ready to spray all over your device.
spray all over your coils. Sounds terrible.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, I mean, I've never had like the real harsh throat hit from not shaking a juice, but what I've found is that sometimes I get like really flavourful hits where all, like the PG flavours have floated to the top, and you just squirt them out first, and then there's just no flavour in the end. And at first I was thinking maybe vape blindness, and I'm like, actually, could it be something more than that? Probably.
Yeah, it's important to remember that from the manufacturer of these products to the time that you get it, there could be quite a long sort of standing still time in between where, you know, it can all not separate but just sort of like move in the bottle not in the right direction, if that makes sense. Probably not. But you need to give it a shake, and like Slack said, it's just so instinctive for us. We didn't catch it on this one. Sorry, Rosie. We hold our hands up. Sometimes we're thick. Okay, guys, short section on our Smog vlog this month. It's a month. Moving on now to what we have been vaping.
Yeah, so I'll start then. This has been my sort of main setup for driving and the like. It's a Uwell Crown 3 that I've stolen off Tony and haven't broken yet, which is going good. Amazing coil performance so far. I don't want to do too many spoilers as we haven't done the review. This is still on its original coil, and we've had it a month. It's probably a month.
So no spoilers, but actually give them all the fucking information. Now tell them how much you really like it.
A lot. But yeah, custom third eye drip tip on top. Look at it go. You can't see it because this is focused on us, not on that. But yeah, it's
you
really
have to
good.
watch the review.
They won't see that in the review. We'll have the proper drip tip.
We've got to give them something. Hello.
So yeah, Uwell Crown 3, and this is the Smog Sharon, which I think I've done the unboxing.
You have.
I have.
It's up.
Yeah, awesome efficiency. As the setups go, I think that looks really cool. The sort of brushed coppery sort of look with the oily sort of, yeah, it looks nice. So I've been heavily using that. Tony?
Okay, what was next on the list for me? So I briefly used the Crown 3. I thought it was really nice. I also briefly used the Smog Sharon while we were at the expo. I also thought that was really nice. What's next on the list? Bazooka sour straws. I bought a 200ml bottle. Awesome. We met out with the distro e-cigarette direct at the Vapor Expo up at Birmingham, and I was just looking to sort of like buy a couple of packs. It was going to be £8, wasn't it, for a pack of 3 10ml bottles on the Friday, business to business days. I thought, I wasn't too sure. I wanted to mooch around the event, see if anything else took my fancy. Went back the next day on the Saturday, apparently gone up to £10. I said, you fucking having a laugh, aren't you? It was £8 yesterday. Who do I need to talk to about this? Manager of the place came over. I said, look, I wanted to buy these. How did he work out that we were reviewers?
Because we've been there yesterday, so what, your business?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I said, no, we're press. And he was like, oh, you're press, are you? And he stacked a load of them together. He said, here you go, take them. I was like, okay then. I had my wallet out at this point. Stupidly put my wallet on top of the counter. Was a bit taken aback of being thrusted a whole load of fucking juice in my hand. We then walked away with my wallet still on the fucking counter. What a wanker I am. Luckily the girl from the place ran up, I mean they're really nice people, and said, you forgot this, you dumbass. And I was like, no, wait a minute, that was my own head, yes.
Yeah, big shout out to e-cigarette direct. That was awesome, yeah, to bring Tony's wallet back.
Thank you very much, e-cigarette direct. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, so as you can tell, there's going to be lots of e-juices recurring soon, but one we're excited about is the Bazooka sour straw. So yeah, watch this space. Next up, I suppose, on what we've been vaping on, we now both own SX Mini G classes. Incitatus, he's been going on about how awesome they are for a while, and we finally bit. And yeah, I picked mine up at the show, and Tony had one just before. Oh, look at them go! Oh, look at them in all their goodness. However that works, I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, they. Yeah, really awesome. Maybe a review coming soon. There's just so much with them. It's like the DNA 200s. It's not something you can just sort of pick up and use for like a few days to get a feel for how it works. There's just so much. You've got software on the PC, you've got software on the phones, you've got a million settings, and it's great. Love it.
And lastly, while not strictly what we've technically been vaping, broke out the new S-Class, new colours. Yeah. Black and red crackle. Yeah, Batman as well. Because Batman.
Yeah.
We use this for the review for the custard, which is on here now, so go check our other reviews. Really like the tactile feel of the new ones. They're really good. Didn't get the wooden one. Video of the unboxing will be coming soon. I don't know what sort of format I'm going to put that in because it is just an unboxing for it. As soon as we've reviewed the iJust S previously. Also trying to work in the fact that I've got a new camera as well for unboxing. You saw the footage from Vapers Expo that was using the new Canon. I can't remember. Canon.
Okay guys, that about does it for this video. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff coming up, videos that we've got yet to film, which we're really excited about, so do stay tuned and check our upcoming shiznit out.
Okay guys, so that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can reach out to us there or in the crotch box with any questions or comments or about the news articles or anything else vape related. We're always here to help. But for now guys, thanks for watching Smog Vlog. Who's intro? Hi, I'm Slack. This is Tony and welcome to Smog Vlog. Hi, Solo.
Thanks, Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tony. This is Slack. Welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we are... But Slack, why are we talking about politics and voting and shit?
Why, Tony? Good question.
You.
Are we going to leave that bit in?
I would say something like, "This is what we scientists call." It's
a reference I don't get. Yeah.
Police Squad. You never watched Police Squad?
Yeah.
When Leslie Nielsen used to go see the scientist bloke, and he'd hold up a light bulb, and this is what we scientists call a light bulb.
Okay.
And next week, Jimmy, I want you to bring five articles from your mother's top drawer.
Do you want to do the next bit? Are you too tired to do filming?
No, I'm really good. Why?
Because you're like, oh.
I've been smiling all the way through.
Oh, good.
And I've been speaking words.
You have.
No, it's cool. We'll just incorporate and then we'll trade a smog vlog.
Yeah.
When we start our own e-juice line.
Yeah, we could start development of our e-juice line. Get business going.
Lots of testing.
Yeah, we're still working on the perfect flavour. It's been 2 years.
But you've had 50 litres!
So we have put the TPD to bed, and if you've got any sort of funny stories, any interesting stories, any sort of swervy stories that you found, do let us know. We'll check them out. Am I? So, British Tony. Oh, really? Already?
A fire alert caused by vaping.
Someone was vaping in their room and set the fire alarm off. Needed a news report.
Shall I pause?
No, you can leave it. I'm going to test my smoke alarm by blowing vape at it.
Don't do that.
Nothing. Oh! I stand corrected. brilliant comedy timing. It just blew the vape at it, and it just rolled over it. Nothing happened. I went, nothing. It's like, there's nothing on it at that point. It's like, oh yeah, I noticed something.
Why vaping deserves to be reported, and that is being reported, deserves to be supported, not reported, because Tony's stupid. You're right, maybe I'm a bit tired.
Yeah, I think so.
So, next up for you guys, our happy ending article.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that feels really long.